Hello, hello, buenas, buenas. I don't know if anybody is rather have Spanish. We can do bilingual, that's the magic of streaming. Lo puedo hacer en español también. Hoy voy a estar haciendo que los macaquitos se peguen entre sí. Gonna have a little boxes hitting each other. See how that turns out. So, uh, here we are. Hey, how's everybody doing? So, here is a list of horrible tasks. Where we left off yesterday. Hey, mucho gusto. I know. How you doing, Mohast? Am I Mohast? Sorry. Am I pronouncing it right? Because I don't know if it's Mohast. Gridlock. Gridlock. It's a cool name. Sounds like a transformer. I love that. Uh, but yeah, and I know you rather have it in English, so I'm gonna go with English. It doesn't matter because it's made up. Cool. So Mohast, Gridlock. Gridlock is the name of a great transformer, and Mohast is like a title, so it's like a transformer, though. Anyway, uh, yeah. If anybody wants to do this in Spanish, you can just tell me. Si prefieren que diga las cosas en español, me piden en el chat. Está todo bien. So this is like a very extensive version of what we started yesterday, with some tasks and some little stuff to do list for the game. I've been talking with the team, mostly Funky, who's doing the art, and it's kind of like what we'll be working on. What I have selected here is what I will try to start doing this next few days, right? So it's gonna be using Trello. Trello is a friend. We like Trello. I'm gonna have like to do, doing, and done, and then I have a small backlog to just move things around. So when I finish something, I just move it on doing. When I'm working on something, I move it to doing, and when it's done, we move it to done. That being said, let's start with basic movements. And sorry, the hot coffee just makes my glasses. Give me a minute. How you been, Mohast? How's it been on your end? Are you participating? Are you making a game, or are you part of the judges? Let me know. So, sure, update. Anyway, there we go. Good, good. And what is it? Yeah, I'm making a game. Cool. What are you using? I believe you mentioned the Godot engine is the one that you're gonna use. Is that gonna be it? Uh, I'm gonna keep on using my good friend Construct that we saw yesterday, but let me know what you're using. If somebody else is in the chat, just let me folks. Yeah, Castagne. Castagne. So yeah, I'm wearing my Wednesday best. I don't know if you see it because on Wednesdays we wear pink, and that's what we do. So anyway, let's go. Let's dive right into it. So first of all, this is what we left off yesterday, like this basic kind of thing. I'm gonna actually save the project first because I didn't do it yesterday. Right now, I'm gonna save it as a single file, and it's gonna be like, or is it Zombie Basher or something that I'm not doing right now? It's gonna be Go Go Pogo. And it's gonna call Go Go Pogo. Go Go Pogo. Save. Alerts are a bit noisy, so chat box same. Hello. So you were starting your stream in the server, and I just wanted to understand the thought process behind developing things. Hope today's productive. Thank you. Thank you so much, Knuckles. Knucklesma. I'm sorry. Did I get that right? Knucklesma. Uh, so yeah, the process is, just in case you didn't know what the game's about. It's of course part of the fighting. Yes, lol. Part of the fighting game jam, and the idea is that we're making a game that it's basically a platform fighter, but your characters only move with pogo sticks movement. Indie pogo was mentioned in the discussion, and the difference between the game we're working on and indie pogo is, in indie pogo you start jumping all the time. You can't stop jumping actually, and in this one you are actually stuck in place if you don't move around by jumping. And the way you jump is you charge your jumps to either side, so you can either jump left or right, and you can make like this. I'm just gonna use this little guys. So think of these as players, And you go like, you charge your jump, is like, boop, boop, you jump either side, boop, and you land on the other dude, and you knock them out like that. You can either go boop, boop, or whatever, and depending on how much you charge your jump, it's going to be a short hop or a longer jump, and that's where the nuance and the potential depth comes in. The idea is also having different characters that have different jump arcs and probably some special moves that makes them different mechanically, right? And in that sense, Funky has already been Funky Space Alien has already started working on some visuals for that. Is doing the art exploration, and it's looking like really cool. And I'm glad he's taking over that whole thing because it's amazing what his work. And well, yeah, I'm gonna be doing some boxes here. Although the process of what the game is gonna be sounds like super simple, and of course not as complex as an actual fighting game, like not an actual fighting game, but a more complex fighting game like the classics 2D fighters. A lot of what will be implemented here can be extrapolated to a more complex game. And if you're participating in the jam, I suggest you either have like a pre-made engine, like what Mohast is doing, which is using the Castagni engine for Godot, or Mugen, Ikemen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing those right, but sure. Other fighting engines. If you were doing it from scratch, you probably have to do something with smaller scope, which is what we're doing in here, right? The game is going to be called Go Go Pogo Power, and it's funny because that will make it GGPP when you pronounce it like shorthand. But yeah, going back to this, so we have these couple of dudes, and here's like Construct has this cool stuff that you just apply pre-made behaviors to stuff, and all the platforming behavior is already in this little box that we have here. This little meeple, and this other little meeple is also has the same behavior, but it's turned off by the default keys. The default keys for the platform behavior are the arrow keys, and now I'm gonna strip all that away to make it work with like charge buttons and just jumping around, right? So all of this to the trash. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the platform behavior, or if I'm gonna do something custom, like actually we did back with jump jousts. But at first, I think I'm gonna keep the platform behavior because it solves a lot of the physics of the game, and then I'm gonna roll with it. So here's what we want to do. For those of you that don't know, Construct, great engine, better program, is a web-based web game maker. It's an engine, so you can make through their web. You can see right there the URL. It's like editor.construct.net. It's a paid engine though, so you have very limited capacity if you're just using the free version. But still, you can experiment with a lot of stuff and see how things turn out. And right now, I haven't written a single line of code. This is all with the visual scripting, the visual actually interface that it has. So you have your layouts, which is what you actually see on screen, and then you have the event sheets. Event sheets is the closest thing to scripts, or like in Godot when you have like the nodes that have scripts within them. And most cases, Construct works with one layout, one event sheet, but it has expanded to be able to use like multiple event sheets being called within a single event sheet. It kind of works like classes and subclasses. Not going to go into that. I'm just going to with the event sheet that is the current game, and I'm just going to rename this like gameplay for the sake of argument, and this is going to be like EV gameplay. EV gameplay. Are you sure? No. I don't want to delete. Anyway, here we go. So I use this. How Construct works is, as you can see here, you have like the conditions, as in what is happening, and the actions, the repercussions of fulfilling that condition, right? So it's like fancy ifs, if you will. And I'm going to do exactly that. So first I'm going to make a group that is going to be called controllers. Thank you, I guess. Okay. And you can make little groups with different events and conditions, so it's more easy to read afterwards. So we're gonna go with that. And first, I'm gonna remove the default controls, as I mentioned, which is the arrow keys for this little guy. I'm gonna do something that I should have done earlier though, which is I'm gonna remove the platform behavior from this guy and create a family. I'm gonna call it actors, fam actors, and call it like actor player. This is a collision solid. And this is going to be a collision platform. Collision platform. Right. So just in case, solid has a solid behavior, which means that nothing can go through it, and the platform is you can jump through it from under it, like classic Mario and Sonic and whatever kind of platforming. Why did they do the family thing? I'm going to read over to you in a bit. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. The idea is to bring a lot of objects, in this case the player, to have the same set of properties and to have a lot of properties in common and behaviors in common and stuff like that, right? So I want to have the platform behavior on the family and not on a specific object within the family. So if I ever have, like, I don't know, an NPC, I guess, but they do have the platforming behavior, we can use the family and just refer to that specific object and not necessarily like everything else. So with that said, having done that, what would happen right now if I put play, both characters should be able to move with the arrow keys, and it's exactly what's going on. The idea is to, by default, nobody has default controls. Haha. So there you go. Nothing can be moved. And for this, I will now need create the object keyboard so I can manipulate stuff with keyboard. And while I'm at it, I'm going to use the gamepad too. And the idea is keyboard. So at first, I'm going to use like preset input, like probably WSD and the arrow keys and whatnot. The idea is to eventually abstract that so you can eventually map your own keys when playing. Same thing for the gamepad. But I'm going to start first with the keyboard. So we want to have a condition for keyboard, which is when key is down. Let's say it's D. And things that you notice as you go around, it's like, I'm gonna need family behavior timer, because if I'm going to charge a jump, I want it to be like, I want it to be progressively stronger and have it timed. Taking the value of the timer, I can then define the strength of the jump. I don't know if it was any clear, but I'm just gonna try it, see if it works. So for now, the actors are gonna need a variable, which is player. Defines which player they represent. So if I say player 1, this is gonna be player 2. I'm gonna do first comment, player 1 input. So if I do when D is down, actor player, nope, back player. I need to make sure I'm talking about a specific player. Value, comparing to the value. Is the player is equal to 1. This is very like haphazard, but as long as it works. Big fan of, hey, as long as it works around this. So if a player is player 1, I eventually have to need them to have different states, but for the time being, I'm just going to use whatever it is right now. So I'm gonna start a timer. Am I starting a timer? Yeah, I'm starting a timer. Am I starting a timer? Is timer the thing I need? I'm gonna try with something else. I'm gonna try with like jump charge. So I'm gonna do add to jump charge. So this is when it's down by the keyboard on pressed. I want it to reset any charge value that it has. So the smart move will be like this actually. So I don't have to repeat myself every time. I'm going to be adding one to charge, and if I press it, I'm going to set value. Oh, set value of jump charge to 0. So just by this few lines of code, what should happen, I'm going to run on debug so we can see this. Right, so fam actors, this guy, you can see the value of the jump charge right here. I don't know if you see it. Probably you should. But if I'm pressing D, that number should go up, and when I release it, it should stay in the last number, and when I press it again, it should reset and start charging again. So it didn't work. Wait, no, it's not working. So when D is on D pressed, jump charge is 0, add 1 to jump charge. If I don't have this action, what happens? Fam actors, it works. Okay. Something. You don't like this for whatever reason? Okay, let's do this again. Select debug. Okay. Fam actors, this guy. Oh, it worked. There you worked. God knows why it didn't work. Right. So this is just adding up. So the way we should do this is a character fam. What the fuck is that? Fam actors. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it as actors. Actor. I need the jump charge, and I need max charge time. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So what I want to do with the max charge time is how charge frames actually. Let's go with that. All right, charge frames. What I really want to do is say this means like it should take a second. This needs to be eventually, normalized according to whatever frame rate you have. Otherwise, it's gonna be like super fast for 120 refresh rate. That's why I need the timer, right? Probably that. Problem for later. Either way. So what I need to ask is actor player variable compare instance variable. Is jump charge less than max charge frames? Self max charge frames. There we go. As long as this happens, you can keep on loading. So it means it sets up it clamps the value of the charge. The good debug project. Oh my god. That way we can see. Buenas, ¿cómo le va? Todo bien acá. Programando en español y en inglés. Okay, so it works. Mr. Fred, si querés que lo haga en español, puedes pedirme. En principio lo estoy haciendo todo en inglés porque los que están por ahora hablan en inglés. So what I'm trying to do is this number here, the jump charge. If I'm holding D, what the fuck? If I'm holding D, Hey, hope it's going well for you. Hey, mister, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Doing good, doing good. Check. You're gonna love this shirt. I believe you're gonna love this shirt. It's Wednesday, so I gotta wear my Wednesday best. Uh, so jump charge goes up to 60. If I release it, it's fine, and it keeps. Okay, this is what I was looking for. It's like on start it resets. If I release it, if I release it early, I get some level of jump charge, and then I can do something with that value, right? That's what I was going for. Yes, thank you, Mike. That is actually from Target. When I went to GDC on 2024, I got it on Target, so it's an import. But yeah, so now that I have that, I should ask what happens when you release. Oh, sorry. I want to jump. No, that's not. Please don't. There we go. And what happens on release? Back release. You set jump charge to 0. I don't think you do. You do. And let's try this silly thing, which is actor simulate control jump. Now this is easy because you have the platform behavior, so it's just simulating a jump and that's it. If all things worked out, this should jump when I release D. It's not taking any values from the jump chart just yet, but it's like I'm testing. Boom. Yes, it worked. So here's the idea. A character needs, I'm just gonna go with this jump strength max. What are we doing? Jump strength 6. Let's go with 800, right? So this is the jump strength that it's gonna pick from, like it's gonna lerp between how much I charged, and if I charge it fully, it's gonna be a jump strength of 800. Otherwise, it's gonna be halfway there, somewhere around there, depending on how quickly I release the button. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set jump strength to, I'm not gonna lerp, it's gonna be easier if I just go jump charge, self, jump charge, divided by self, max charge frames. This is gonna give us a number between 0 and 1 times character jump, Jesus, self, character, jump, strength, max. Did I get that right? Probably, yes. And then I'm gonna jump. Would that make sense? Let's see about that. So if I do boop, this is, do you get that? Whoop, whoop. And I was charging. I was actually charging. I can do a little effect, which is actor, player, height, self, actor, self, image height. This is default height of the image, not scaled, right? So it's with the scale of 1 times the ratios, self jump charge over self max charge frames. So this is gonna do the other way around. So what I want is 1 minus this. This is gonna be silly. It's gonna look super silly, but I like it. This is what I'm looking for. I'm not gonna do this. There, exactly. So on release, I'm gonna set height to self image height. There we go. So it resets. So this is the thing. Where it's like boop, 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 boop. There you go. Boop. We should move it sideways now, right? I'm gonna get my glasses off because these are my resting glasses, if you will. So it's not like I need to use them all the time, but they've got like misty due to coffee. So I'm just gonna leave them to the side. Okay, so I need to make them jump to either side. If it's on any key release, no, this is not any key released. It's on a specific key released. D. This is, of course, is going to be all overwritten when I have like different character states. That's probably how it's going to work. So on dereleased, all that, and I should probably start with the states, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna start with the states. So I'm just gonna go with like add group, player states. I'm gonna create a little function. It's gonna call char set state, and the fam actors are gonna have a state. It's gonna be a string. So I'm gonna need like a lot of. There are no enums, enums on construct, but we can make something like the next best thing, which is like some global variables with some setup names. Add a local. It's not gonna be local, but it's gonna be like state idle. It's not a number. It's a string. So make sure that we like always get it right. State jumping. Jump. It's gonna be called state charge. State jump. Beep 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 beep. And then we're gonna go with state falling? No, let's go with hit. This will probably change. So what I'm gonna need is player UID. What's the UID? In construct, every instance has a unique ID, hence UID. You can see it in the debug. Check it out. So even though we have two instances of the actors, which are actually like actor players, these two, they have different UIDs. This is the number that identifies it within all the instances of all objects in runtime. So this one is 2 and this one is 4, right? So probably it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, considering now that we have 4 objects on screen. So if I'm not mistaken, Sonic should be 0. No, it's 3. And platform is 5. What is ID 1? Anyway, probably an instance of maybe keyboard or other stuff. Maybe the family is an instance on its own. Either way. So do feel free to just ask questions or whatever while I'm doing this. The idea is to just, you're going to be my rubber ducks, but you also need to like let me know if you have any questions. So state string. So the idea of this function is to pick the actor, fam actors, UID. Pick by unique UID based on what you put on the player UID. And then ask is this guy value. Compare instance variable. State. Do they have the same state? Self state. If it's not the same state, we should change the state. So this is going to be like a dirty version of state machine, but it's going to do the job, which is like making sure no weird shenanigans happen while a player is doing a specific the player is doing a specific movements or animations or whatever, right? So it works. Anyway, so fam actors set value of the state to whatever it is that I wrote on state, right? So by default, and this is one of the craziest, best events ever, which is on start of layout. So when the level starts, I'm gonna do like a for each fam actor, set everyone to idle. It's gonna be functions char set state, and it's gonna be like the UID of this specific guy, and the state is going to be idle, right? So what it's doing right now is just changing a string within the properties of the character. It's not doing much with that. If everything worked on debug, we can see that the actors have an idle state. It didn't. It didn't do it. But the idea should be like it should say idle, right? State idle. So on starter layout, every actor gets to every specific actor with their own ID changes state to state idle. Bleh. Okay. Strangely not working. We'll see about that. So if the state is different than the state, haha. No, that was silly. Now I know what's wrong. If the state of its own is different to the state that I'm trying to apply, I'm gonna help myself and call it new state. There we go. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. And if everything should work, you both should be idle. There we go, idle and idle. And that's how it's gonna go. So on press, what I'm gonna do is state, I'm gonna change the state to actor, player, UID, state, state charge. And on released, there's gonna be a condition here on released if it charges a decent amount of time. I know Dude Construct was a web-based editor. To be frank, I never used it. It's very good. It's actually very, very fucking good. It's my weapon of choice. I mean, like 90% of the games that we do in the studio are in Construct. We've done stuff on GameMaker and Godot, but since we do a lot of web games, Construct has been a godsend in that sense. So it gets the job done. It's super clear. It's super visual, and it has its shenanigans like every other engine. But I kind of got used to those nitpicky weird stuff, and again, like everything, you get the experience and you start finding ways around that might not be orthodox, but get the job done. But yeah, so right now, sorry, changing state when jumping. I was saying that I'm gonna write a little comment so I don't forget. Jumping should trigger if a min value of the jump chart happened. If not, just stay idle. If not, reset to idle. We'll see about that, but at least I gotta know that. That's cool. Can you build directly with code, or do you have to use a bit? Yeah, I mean, it's mostly this visual coding. You can actually, like, I'm gonna show you. It's like you can add JavaScript, like boom, blah blah blah. You can just write Java directly. See, it's just JS over there, and you can actually, like, I'm gonna delete this, but you can also add TypeScript, like straight into the visual editor. But you will always be within this visual aid, and I don't know if you can add it. Yeah, you can add events in Java and TypeScript too. So it's like you can go full custom. This is how most SDKs, different plugins and SDKs work within Construct too. But at the end of the day, at least for me, I've always like used the visual coding. It just works. So I changed the state to jump. And if all of this worked, you should be able to see the state changes when charging and then releasing. I'm gonna do it with the main player. So here's gonna be like, so this state I'm gonna go watch. So this right here, you should see it as changing from idle to charging to jumping. So they, sorry, out of focus. There we go. Boop, it worked. See, there's a. What I need to do now is once it lands, it should reset to idle, right? Yeah, I haven't done anything web-based for games since Flash. Yes, the good old times. So this seems like a nice way to build for web. Exactly. exactly. I come from a Flash background, so this is like second nature to me. It's way better than ActionScript 3 because back in the day you have to use that. Uh, it's uh, it's both more limited and more flexible in some things. The good thing is web based first, so if you need to deploy on web, it's like second nature for this. It's not even second nature. It is its nature. It's the other way around. It's sometimes even harder to just get a Android build out of this. You can get them, but you gotta jump through a little bit more hoops. It's kind of like the same way you have Unity. Unity is like great for stuff that is mobile, that is Windows and sometimes consoles, but it has a rough time with web. It does well, but once you see this working on web, you just go like, no, no, Unity has a rough time with web. It's like this is smooth as butter when it comes to that, and this has been kind of like our prerogative in the studio. Like, if we're gonna do web games, we should use web first engines, and if we're gonna do something else, we should use that. As much as it pains me, I don't know much about the other engines because I'm actually like I did a lot of programming before, but not that much now. So I'm not that used to abstract coding, if you will, or cold coding, if you will. So yeah, Unity is rough in web. First load is already way too slow. Yes, you can improve that. You can make it leaner, but you have to jump through some hoops. And the same thing with Godot. Godot is getting better because Godot has like this constant improvement by the community, but it's still not there. It's not there. And if you plan on working with Godot and Castagne, if you're making games for the Jam, you forget about doing web releases. It's fine. It's not even in the rule set, so it's fine. You're not even considering. But if you have like if you're considering it, drop it. Don't. It's too many hoops you gotta jump to make it work decently on web. Considering the time constraint and other pressures that you have in the jam already. So I would suggest just go for the Windows build or whatever. Okay, so back on this. It's D. You change the state to jump. Should I have a? I'm gonna go with this. This is not necessarily a good idea, but I'm gonna go with this, and it's gonna go right. I'm gonna call it right. Why am I doing this? Reasons. So if the idea that I want to do is if the state is jump right, I have an excuse to hold the right button, simulate the right button being pressed all the time, and I don't have to add any extra steps. I would like to think so, but same thing if I jump left. Since the game is going to be like this, very few states, I'm not worried about just splitting these two and making redundant code in a lot of parts because of this. If it works, it works. That's my like mindset right now. So here's the thing. This is not specifically very efficient, but since the game is small, we can pull this off. So on every frame, it's going to go through each of the actors, right? And ask a few questions. So in this case, what it's going to ask is if is your state, no, variable, is your state equal to state jump right? If it equals to state jump right, you're going to have a fam actor simulate press right. And in the other hand, if you do this, we're going to simulate a left press, right? Copy all this for a input, right? Which is going to be our left key. I'm going to have to reset the charge if I move between keys. This is going to be a problem eventually. Not for now, but it's going to be a problem eventually. Left. Right. So if it works, we should be able to see a little dude jump to either side. So like boom. Okay. I didn't reset the state. Sorry. It worked, I guess. So what I gotta do is when a FAM actor lands, this is thanks to the platform behavior, so I don't gotta think a lot about it. It's just when it lands, this is what you do. Give me. Sorry, I'm back. My little girl wanted to show me one of her creations because she's doing like cool stuff, cool props for one of her friends that's gonna come over. So I had to check that out. It's important. And well, back on this. Yes, we need to have a condition for when it lands, and when it lands, we should change the state to idle. Why are you not copying? There we go. Boom. And we shouldn't be like sliding after this. So, okay. Yeah, it's super sweet. Yeah, you gotta support the kiddos. You gotta support the kiddos. But I wouldn't like to show the kiddos on screen because yeah, the internet is the internet. So yeah. Okay, 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 okay. We have something. We had a bit of a slide thing going on. I know. Here's the thing. The platform. Behavior has the acceleration and deceleration values. I'm just gonna go ham and decelerate fast and accelerate fast. So my idea is that it goes into a full stop when landed. I can actually do that on code. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Boom. And this is the core idea of what I'm thinking about, right? It travels a lot horizontally, but that can be fixed. It's easy. It's just like max speed. No, baby, you're gonna be slow. There we go. And boom. Okay, okay. This is getting closer to what I'm thinking about. Okay. You notice that I can just move the little pieces around, like move values and see what makes sense for us. But yeah, this is pretty much how the inputs are gonna work on my end, how I think about it. This see what that happened, that like double take that it has? It's because I was trying to do a double tap. Honestly, that was cool. Okay, because I know this is gonna be a problem, like having both buttons being pressed. Like, who you're gonna keep? What are you gonna do? I mean, you could. I need to do like some. It's not edge case, but let's call it edge casing. It's like make sure that if you're holding one of those buttons on your release, there is no other button being pressed, so you can keep on charging or whatever, right? Same thing if it's down. Okay, I think I have an idea for that, so. I'm gonna do something weird. See how that turns out. But there's a way to solve that. I'm not going to solve this right now, but I'm going to think it over later. So it's like boom, boom, boom. Maybe a whole second is a lot, but you can get like, it works. I'm just going to leave it like that. Anyway, so 220, 720. There we go. And I'm gonna make the arena enclosed, as I mentioned before. Or I'm gonna try the wrapping around thing. Cool thing about construct, it already has a behavior about wrapping around. So I can do this. Let's make a little pit there. Let's add some other platforming. They're not gonna reach it, it's too high. But just like, let's try things out. So here's the thing. Fam actors are also gonna have another behavior. The behavior, I'm gonna use tween. Tween is a friend, but besides that is wrap. Wrap to layout. Oh, okay, sure, whatever. Let's see how that goes. So if I do bind and bind, should come up from on top. Yeah. See, that's easy. Construct is a friend. He's ready with a party of 3. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. Thank you. Oh, I landed on his head. So here's how it goes. Boom. I think it's working. The idea is working. So, hey, thank you. Welcome everyone. All right. So, okay, the idea is working. The characters are pretty fucking small, but they get the job done. So I figured out how to get my camera working as intended. Nice. But now I need a break. Oh, mood. I get that. So let me think. I need to add the colliders that I mentioned earlier. So if you remember, let's get back to this. So if you remember yesterday, I mentioned about the colliders that I'm gonna need. So this is the way it's going to work. Not at this scale, but here's the thing. Like the collider that we have right now, like the base controller, which is this object, the little meeple, is gonna have all the physics and all the stuff that we need to program within the character. Then what we have is, I'm gonna outline it. Then we have the sprite, which is the sprite and the animations that are gonna be the visual of the character. Then we have like the hitbox, which is the green one, and the hurtbox, which is the green one, and the hitbox, which is the red one. So that way, if a red hitbox from one player hits the green hurtbox from another one, you get a knockout. That's it. And it's simple. It gets the job done. It's straightforward. Whatever. So I'm gonna do these colliders. I'm gonna change the color of this. I'm gonna change the color of all of this because actually, if I'm gonna do red for hitboxes and stuff, I don't want to get confused. If I there you go, exactly, and so this is how we do it. Boom, buck. What I should be doing. Anybody that has used Construct knows this is one of the little nitpicky stuff that it has. So I'm gonna call it prefabs. So I'm gonna need a sprite, and it's gonna be 32 because hey, yay, power of 2, baby. And it's gonna be a semi-transparent because that's the way we roll here. Not that semi, quite transparent either way. To make it as a hurtbox in this case. I'm gonna call it box hurt. And then I'm gonna clone it, make it red. It's gonna be hit box hit. So these are gonna be part of a family. You can make all the Fast and Furious Toretto jokes you want with that. Fam hitboxes. And every hitbox should have a designated player and then active state. Right. So why am I putting this elsewhere? Because Construct, the way Construct works in a lot of stuff, and especially if you're gonna have like better than a UID, sort of. But the thing is, what you're gonna need is Construct. When you have prefabs, you can do prefabs with hierarchies like this on Construct, right? You can do add selection to insert. That means that this is the parent of this object. If I spawn a hitbox, I'm gonna, with the hierarchy, I'm gonna spawn that one too, the hurt box. It's not something that I need right now, but if I'm gonna make a prefab like the characters and the stuff, probably gonna do that because it's gonna be a good example for that. Let's go with little dude. Where's little dude? Dudette. Here's Dudette. By the way, Funky has made a lot of progress when it comes to the art exploration. They're gonna look amazing, but it's not gonna be like this. I'm just placeholding things. Beep, beep, beep. There we go. I'm gonna keep the outline. I'm gonna keep the I'm gonna do it bad, but not that bad. So it's noticeable that it's a placeholder. Because I don't want to look like, hey, it looks like fine art. No, please don't. There we go. Yeah, it's choppy on purpose. So I'm gonna give another origin points, like one here. I'm gonna call it hurtbox. Do another one. I'm gonna call it hitbox. This is probably gonna be unnecessary once we have like, yeah, exactly. I'm probably not gonna need those points later when we have the actual graphics, but yeah. Well, I was gonna say something about AI placeholders. It's not an AI placeholder. This is like, actually, it's a character that Funky did, and then I just grabbed Flash and did like the whole pogo thing around it, just to make a point to him as how I envisioned the characters working. So, oh, and the origin point has to be here. So when we scale it, it scales from that point. So it doesn't scale like this to the middle. It scales to the bottom, just like we saw on the little meeple, yellow meeple. Graphic is huge. We don't care. We don't care. So its sprite is char, and her name is placeholder. And the scale, who cares? And that's it. So the whole hierarchy speech, screw that. I'm gonna bring this forward. Align, what is it? God damn it. Z order. Okay, send to top. See, I don't even need the points. I'm just gonna make this and give it a hierarchy. That's it. And like this, right? Again, just testing stuff. So these two things are gonna be children of that thing, right? So the idea is player states. On start of layout, I'm gonna need another. I'm gonna need another group. I'm just gonna call it the animation. I got you. Yeah, no AI, please. If you use AI, you just don't, man. I could say nasty things, but I'm live, so no. You can do your own placeholders, and the nastier they are, the better. So you know you have to change them eventually. So you have no idea how many placeholders we have left within the code at times. They're quite small, but it has happened because the time cycles, the time cycles of our games are rather small. So we sometimes leave shit inside. What are you gonna do? And I miss the wall placeholder texture of the old cinematics. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna do a. It's gonna be char. Yeah, char load animation. I'm gonna call it like this. It's probably gonna be called different eventually. It's this and char name. This is a value that this is a property that is a variable that is going to be useful eventually when I have more characters and it just picks a different sprite depending on that. For the meantime, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm just interested in what the UID is. So pick instance with UID exactly, and on that one I'm going to do fam actors spawn another object, which is a character placeholder with the hierarchy on the same layer. I haven't used layers just yet. You can notice that, am I covering with my head? It's covering with my head. So where my head is at and the chat is, you can see, I can move it around, right? So let me do this. So yeah, so over here and where the chat is, it's the layers of the scene, of the layout. And layers work like Photoshop. So I can have a lot of layers, and some layers can have different properties, and it even improves the whole like uh, parallaxing. If you want to do that, it works. It's just very intuitive, very on point. And right now, what I'm doing is, if I'm going to spawn this character, I'm going to spawn it in the same layer as the collider that I'm using, just because it's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my head back in there. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger now that I know. So, there we go. I work for an AI company as a project manager and ethicist, and I'm very anti-AI for most things. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It happens. It happens. I've I've had a couple of interviews where they ask about AI and what I think about it, and it's hard not to say, dude, it sucks. And but I get it. But I get it, and it's gonna pop eventually. Like we gotta do like a little bingo for when it pops. No, not using what is it, Kalshi or whatever those horrible things are. No, it's either gambling or AI. I hate it. I hate it here. Let's make fighting games. Let's make games. Let's fuck AI. Fuck gambling. Uh, where were we? Yes, fan actors on the layer. Layer name. Let's go with that. Image point 0. Yeah, actually, yeah. Template name, we don't have a template. Let's go. So, again, on system start, layout start, what I'm going to do is call this function for each character. So, character load animation, it's themselves, so it's self-referential, beep, 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 beep. I don't care about the character name right now, we're going to leave it at that. The best thing that came from AI is, I do not think I know what that is. Or I glue my nuts to my buttholes. Oh god. Sure, let's go with that. Oh god. Anyways, okay. If it worked, no. If it worked, I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. My bet is I'm gonna be able to load the character, but the character's gonna stay in the air while the colliders are gonna fall off. There you go. See what I mean? Character stayed in the air and the colliders fell off. Why? Because I didn't attach any hierarchy from the collider to the rest of the animation. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I spawned it like what music? Oh, you got. So character. I'm gonna need fam actor add child. This opacity is destroy with parent. There we go. Now I should have this. Boom. And yes. Boom. See, it doesn't feel that good now that the characters are bigger. So the strength of, as in, it doesn't feel good like jumping. They just disappear. So I should probably make the jumps stronger. I love that. Like, I'm gonna make the jump stronger, maybe? Question mark? It's a good thing that I could just try some values around and see what happens. But either way, we have this. And what I should do is, we know what the character placeholder is. We actually don't need from the hitboxes to know what the player UID is. However, I'm gonna use it anyway. So it's gonna be like, I'm gonna do another group. It's gonna be a subgroup, whatever. Coalitions. It's not here, baby. And I'm gonna move this guy upwards. Player states. Controller, sure, let's leave it at that. And coalitions. I was trying to explain the idea of moving values around and needing to see it in action. Does this squash and stretch looks good? It's basic AF. It's like there's gonna be more elaborate stuff still. So it's actually just squish. There is no stretching right now, because otherwise it will go like widen itself. But see how how far you can go with just a little bit of juiciness. It gets a lot of, covers a lot of bases. And you can get away with a lot of stuff with that. Yeah. Collisions. And what's important about collisions is on spawn. Okay, so on created. What I'm trying to do is, when a collision box is created, assign the player UID of the parent to their own variables, and I'm trying to make that a construct event. So let's see if it works. So on created, it boxes parent. Why am I doubting this? Because you don't really have much control over when certain events happen in construct, in what order, as in not what you have here in the script, right? What you have in the event sheet. And at times it does happen too. But I don't know if when the... Oh, I can do it with a function. Never mind. Because my problem was if I want to check that on spawn, maybe it hasn't been assigned to the parents, so I'm asking something that is not there yet. I want to get a playable... Oh, yeah, you were working on that one. I'm sorry. Yeah, you were working on the Guile versus Juggernaut game if you wanted to mess around. It's not going to be for the jam, but it's a good way to learn Castanian. But that's cool. That's cool. Odd pairing. Why Guile and Juggernaut? But yeah. So what I should do is boxes, assign parent. I don't know if it's going to be useful or not. No, it's the other way around. So it's going to be like character, assign boxes. Why is it going to be like this? Because I'm just going to put it here. I need the character ID. I'm having trouble already with my own naming conventions. I'm calling them char when it actually should be player. Considering that one is the player is the controller, char as in the character is the sprite animation. So I'm gonna go with that. Player set state, player, character assign boxes. There we go. That's what I'm going for. Simple move leads, 10 different body types. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I also like Galen Juggernaut. Mood, it's fine. If you ask me, I would be using Morrigan. I believe, like, Mike will do the same. But yeah, and if you ask Andrea, he'll probably use, I don't know, Felicia or whatever, another cat girl. But yeah. So this is off. Assign boxes. And I'm gonna need to find. Interesting. I'm gonna need to make a family of characters because if I'm gonna have a lot of characters, I need these fam characters. There you go, Morrigan, my queen. Mood. Fam characters. So it's fam characters UID from char UID. I pick this boy, and then I'm gonna lean hard into the fact that I know how many boxes each character has and which ones there are. So it's pick children, the boxer, and pick the children, the box. So box hurt value player UID. Oh fuck. It's technically character UID. So it's gonna, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm gonna rename that. There we go. And the box art. What are your thoughts on the Jams theme? Has it thrown off your initial designs? Honestly, not that much. Because as it stands, the game is you land on somebody's head and they're knocked out. You have like a couple of stocks, probably 3 to 5. And it's sort of all or nothing in that sense. I'm thinking of the nothing part. I've been thinking about it, as in what happens when you don't land on people's head. I wouldn't like for it to go hard into having recovery frames and such, but you do have quote unquote recovery frames because you're charging your next jump. So you're kind of already leaning hard on the all or nothing by default of the original design. I waited to nothing to change. Oh, I low-key hate it because I didn't affect my design. Yeah, oh man, yeah. I'm gonna try to have Morrigan and Felicia in our game, but they are out of scope for the jam. Yeah, get that. Yeah, it's a good theme if you're leaning hard into more traditional fighting games. I think we were lucky, and it's also broad enough so you're not that constrained. So it works. It's not spectacular, but it works. And I don't think it would have been good if it were like super, like, weird. Because I believe it was Matt that mentioned that Global Game Jam sometimes has like this all very, you know, artsy fartsy theming, and people end up with very common tropes, and people just don't know how to do stuff with the super abstract theming. So I think it works in that sense. Too esoteric can be frustrating. I agree. We left a lot of design space over for the theme, and it wasn't necessary. Yeah, it kind of like that didn't happen to us because I knew the designer that I wanted to make, and I at least I thought it the other way around. It's like this is what I would like to do. If the theme throws a wrench into that plan, I'll reconsider. It wasn't the case, so I'm just business as usual, if you will. But too esoteric can be very frustrating. I totally agree. And sometimes too esoteric can make things go into very common places. Like this has happened in global game jams a bit. Hyperfighters already or nothing. Yeah, they kind of are. Yeah, touch of death kind of thing. Okay, so no, I gotta change the object. Sorry, got carried away with the conversation. Do I need this? I don't know. Will I use it? Who knows? Functions char assign boxes and it's char placeholder UID. So there we go. This will need to be abstracted. Okay, I'm gonna write a comment. Needs to be abstract and use the char name value instead of a fixed char placeholder object. That's it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. What? I'm gonna debug, see if I have those data points. You have IDs. Okay, it's cool. So this right here says your character ID is 18. So character placeholder. This guy should have a UID of 18. Yes, it works. Good. Good. So yes. Now I can do collisions. So box hit collides with box hurt. And box hit value. The character ID is different from the... This is redundant right now because they're not overlapping, but I'm going to do it anyways. When they're different IDs, it means they're from different characters, so I'm going to use that. I'm considering doing my own tutorials. Oh, that's cool. That's actually cool. It's always good to have like... yeah, I agree with Mike. It's always good to have like different perspectives and actually use cases because people use tools differently than you would expect. And sometimes using just the documentation, you run into some problems or it's hard to understand, while somebody doing the thing on their own in their own terms makes a lot more sense to you. All right, having said that, we have this collision. I'm gonna go hard and just destroy the other player when this happens, which is gonna be, I'm gonna pick the character with the UID from the hurt box hurt UID. This means I'm looking for the owner of the hurt box. Actually, I'm not gonna do it this way. I'm gonna go box hurt parent. It's not if it has a parent. It's pick parent. The parent being a character, and within that, fam character pick parent, which is a actor. It's layers within layers, right? So the hurt box belongs to the character, which in turn belongs to the... Everything should actually be attached to the player controller, but I'm gonna go with this sandwich step by step, right? So it's gonna be like box is attached to character, character is attached to player controller, and I'm looking to that to reach the like source of the whole, what is it, branch, if you will. And fam actor destroy. If everything worked, I should land on somebody's head and destroy them. Destroy as in disappear from the screen. All right. So this is it. Okay, give me a minute. Whoop. No, there we go. Suspense. That it worked. See this. All right. Game's over. That's it. Jam is finished. I'm just waiting for Funky's art and just implement it, and we're done. Mind if I choose about our project real quick? Sure. Jam complete. Not only is it English as a second language, but I'm trying to convey programming. Oh, you're actually like, what's your first language? Because I didn't know about that. It's actually Spanish, like mine. Uh, but yeah, when it comes to the jam, this is like the core idea of what I was looking for. Oh no, I mean pen. Oh, pen. Uh, it's French, right? Did I disappear? Oh, ooh, this is interesting. You're gonna love this. You know what happened? I destroyed myself. I destroyed myself. Why did that happen, you might ask? Because the hurt box touched the hit box when reducing my size. Uh, this is an interesting bug. Self-destruct, exactly. If all or nothing, if you miss the chance to jump, you self-destruct. That is a good. Oh, that's good. You overcharge and you just die. Now that is all or nothing. I mean, like, check it out. If I, and then he died. Oh man, there's something there. Yeah, only one character left. It's exactly that. Wow. But I'm gonna nest this question, and then I'm gonna nest this one. I was just progress, but it took 7 to master and still don't know my gallo from my gato. Uh, I suggest you look into that if you know what those mean in English. So yeah, good one, good joke, good bilingual joke, man. I'm gonna. Ah! Did I die? Oh, it's still dying. What the fuck? It's a good. You know, it's supposed to mean that if you can make jokes in a specific language, then it means you have a certain degree of, you know, dominance over the language. You can actually like have conversational versions of that language, or you can just make like weird gags like you just did. But still, it's funny. It's funny. So just in case for those that didn't get it, gacho, depending on where you are, gacho, gallo, if you're in Mexico, accents, man, means rooster or something else in English. And gato is cat, and you know how they call little cats, you know. And yeah, makes sense. It's funny. Good one, actually, very good one. Either way, don't explain the joke, man. I know. Why is this happening on collision? Do you assign this? I'm gonna look into this. It's weird, but it's good to see that it's happening. Box hurt has 18 and box hurt has 18. Why don't you like? And you notice that I haven't asked about being active or not, right? Also, this doesn't make a lot of sense. It shouldn't scale that much. We should have like a. Should it scale? I mean, it should scale all the way down, of course, but I'm not gonna cop out by just not scaling all the way down. It's a bug. It's an actual bug. The box hit. Oh, I'm using. I was asking the wrong question. There we go. This is the right question. I was asking about the UID, which of course is going to be always be different. So it of course is going to kill everyone. So 2 details. If I'm charging, it works. And if I I know. But only my Spanish teacher. Okay, I always want to know enough language to connect with others. That's cool. That's definitely cool. I'm just sorry. I'm just very low right now. The rest were gringos doing their best, which is maybe better, but not for my learning. Yeah, it does happen like that. It does happen like that. Spanish is a hard language to learn if you come from English or any, what is it, Germanic languages. If you come from what the Romances are called, like from Latin languages, it's easy to go between them, but you still have like shenanigans happening, right? I mentioned, I believe, a couple of times that a lot of our Brazilian colleagues, we talk amongst each other in English because it's like the de facto lingua franca we can talk in. And even though we speak Spanish and they speak Portuguese, which is another Romance language, we kind of understand each other, but then the accents come in. So yeah, I have a Portuguese in my region, then Spanish, but I'm trying to find more folks to talk to. For sure. Where are you? If you don't mind me asking. So yeah. Like I know Andrea is a what is it? An Italian in Germany. Even as French speaker, Spanish is tricky. Yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, you do Quebecois, right, Mike? South Coast, Massachusetts. Oh, no idea. No idea. It was like how that worked. Oh, I need to. Sorry, I need to check this. Big Portuguese. Oh my god, actually Portuguese or Brazilian? Because it's actually like the difference. Now that we mentioned Quebecois, like the difference between French from France and French from Quebec. I don't know who Emerald is. I'm sorry, but then you have like Portuguese from Portugal, and then you have Portuguese from Brazil. Technically, that's right. Okay. Yep. Quebec, New Brunswick. Okay. French Canadian, which is its own thing. Yeah, I know. It's exactly what I was mentioning, right? You have like Brazilian Portuguese, and you have Portuguese from Portugal, and you have Quebecois, and then you have French. I mean, it's still French, but they call it Quebecois, I guess. And yeah, sorry, box hit, boolean. It needs to be active. And how do we say active again, kids? Player states. And player states, no. So what I'm gonna do is when where is this? Where the movement one for each actor? If the state is jump, I don't care about this from actors. I care about it falling. Is falling. So if it is falling, I love this. It's so easy to just go ahead and what? Oh, if the actor is falling, then I have to talk to the children. Wait, no. No, yeah, I have to talk to the children, which is the character, which in turn has the Hurtbox fan. Character. Children. What the fuck? Children. Okay, pick children. Headbox. Active. Active true. Active. False. Okay, this should fix a lot. Okay. Yeah, probably gonna steal on. What is it? Yeah, I have like half an hour more. Yeah. Considers themselves Portuguese, but they also from essentially a tropical archipelago. Okay, got it. Garters Island. Good fluid. That's all I know. 90% of my friends are from some form of Portuguese. That's cool. Didn't know about that, being honest. So, oh, close call. See, that's why I think I need a close call camera that goes zoom and slows down just in case you're roughly going through that. Ah, yes, this is what I was looking for. So I don't get hit by the hitbox there, I should be able to hit him. Boom, there we go. Cool. What I would like to is for the other character to bounce when they land. I would like to just destroy the little dude. I would like to do something about it. But for now is a big Portuguese pub, and Boston itself is a big mix of language. Yeah, makes sense. So okay, this pick own. Need to replace the box hurt. Replace object with the hit one. So for the hitbox, pick the character, pick the parent, not destroy. Oh shoot, there we go. Not destroy. What you should do is from actors set vector y, which is self platform behavior, vector y, and reduce it a little bit, like I don't know, 75. This should be parameterized, but it should be a parameter. I'm just gonna go with this like a magic number, see what that turns out, and minus because it's going up. Just for the sake of argument, it's the absolute value negative. Just in case it's already going up, it does a little extra jump. Okay. But there you go. Jam finish, everyone. We're good to go. Let's. We're done here. I gotta move the other dude now, so 2 players can actually play. And I gotta respawn. I mean, you just gotta respawn, right? I don't have a timer. Do I? I need a timer to just respawn people, right? I'm thinking about it. I'm sure I'll go buy it. There's something I can do. I'm just gonna add weight. Fuck it. Wait. 2 seconds. And then I should respawn. It's like on start for each actor. I actually need a spawning function, right? So I should have like the player spawn. Player number. It's gonna be dumb and easy for now. So I'm just gonna create an object which is the, now it's gonna be actor player because I'm actually doing this particular thing, and the layer is gonna be layer 0. Let's just go with that, and the Y is gonna be out of screen. No, let's do this, and X is like a random number between, I don't know, 100 and it's 720, right? So it's gonna be like 640. See how that goes. Create a hierarchy. I don't have that hierarchy yet, but I can and I will. Player load animation. The actor player UID. I don't need the character name. Use jet. So should this work? I should have a local variable called like that player number before destroying it, and set value. No, sorry. Set value. That player number is fam actors player number. There you go. Wait 2 seconds and then I go player. This is gonna suck if I actually do it this way, because this can overlap if you have like multiple players at the. If we ever do like 4 players at the same time, it's gonna be messy. For now, it's gonna work. And fam, what up, fam? Player spawn, that player name. what is it? Player spawn. Where is player spawn? Where did I do it? An actor player set value player to player number. There we go. Okay, let's see if that works. I don't know. Boop, boop, boop. 1, 2. Oh, he's back. I'm gonna give controllers to that guy. Okay, so player 1 input. Yeah, player 2 input. This is redundant, but it's how it's gonna work for now. Player 2. I can actually deploy this like today for what is it? Should second player use arrow keys? Sure. To each his own. I'm going back. Wait a minute. Right. Okay, we got 2 players, baby. Boom. I gotta do something about that one. It's a bit like off. I'm gonna kill player 1. Overlap doesn't work. We should look into that. Boom. There we go. Respawned again? Yes. Okay. Jumps over. Oh, what was that? Okay. I managed to jump. Can I still control it in midair? Oh, there's something here. There's something here. I'm not gonna correct it just now. Unpress. I need to add a state check. What? What that? I didn't get the little emoji. I'm having a hard time reading it. Okay, so player. No, need the state is not equal to state is either idle or jump or charge, sorry. Or okay. Okay, same. So why is this? So the whole idea of having the states is that you couldn't do like mid-air jumps or mid-air charging or whatever. So the idea is that what happens while you're in mid-air and you press those buttons is that you have the character's special moves or something else, right? So right now I'm gonna keep it like this, like make sure you are on either of those available states. And then you can charge. So make it an R. Or what is it? Or make an R block. Boop, boop. Make an or block. This. God damn it. This. Okay, why am I not doing it on the release one? Because it would be redundant, and I want to keep my. I don't know. Actually, I should actually add it. Yeah. I should actually include it. Yeah. Let's go. It's not this. It's not this. It's here. So yeah, now that I say it out loud, it makes sense to just have it in there. We'll see how that goes. There. So arrow keys for second player. Okay. And you cannot change direction midair. It worked. What was that? Oh, what? Oh, shit. You can charge before landing? What? I love this. I'm keeping this. So, and here's the good part is I'm going to do a weird cool, it's going to clone platform cool moving. And I'm going to have a third color. You guys are going to like this. I think so. So it's going to be a jump through, but it's also going to have a sine wave movement. See what I'm cooking? So it's not that good color coded if I'm being honest. So I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to change the background to something that actually has a desire to live. That doesn't have a desire to live. That's shit. I'm not gonna go flat white. That is also gonna be like super insane. God damn it! I'm gonna need something cooler. Can I go? I'm gonna go darker. It's gonna suck. Anyway. Oh, it's also semi-transparent. So no, fuck you. There you go. So this guy is gonna move around. How's that going? Check it out. I finished the jam, so it's like boom, boom. You can spawn and you can go like boom. Oh no, I got off right at the wee. So yeah, I finished the jam, so it's all good. No, I'm gonna have some moving platforms, and I'm probably gonna do a build for We Gaming, exactly, right? So you have to land with your hitbox, the red one, on top of the other folks' hurtbox, the green one. And I'm using a placeholder graphic based on funky Space Aliens design. Probably takes a lot of time to just try. What happens if I come from the bottom? I'm not activated, so it makes sense. Cool. This is going to submit this entry for the game with the first hour after the jam opens. I'm not going to submit. I don't know if how it works. I'm just going to upload it to itch and start updating it. At least what Andrea said is like it would be cool to see that progress happening live. So I'm probably going to upload this, see what people start playing around and find. It's buggy as crap, but still. Oh, I was joking about the one user who's admitted a clear. I like skimmed through that. Apparently there was an AI entry, and it was like totally mobbed, so they put it down. I mean, deservedly so, but still, it was like, okay, so something happened with AI, and it got out of the picture fast enough. Speaking of, I want to do something here. What is this little dude? I'm going to do an effect. HSL. So, what is this? I like this. I'm keeping this. So what I'm going to do is do a little thing. Pogo game. Exactly. It's a Pogo game. Should I hide the collision boxes? Probably. Collision boxes. I'm going to do initially visible. So here, somewhere around here. Initially visible, no. Let's see. Oh, cool. There we go. Boing, boing, boing. And what I want to do is on start layout, player load animation. When I'm loading an animation, I'm going to do a little exception here. This is a quick and dirty mirror match exception. It's quick and dirty mirror match exception. So if the actor value player is 2, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick last created char placeholder. So I'm gonna pick the last one that was created. Char placeholder is gonna have an effect parameter. The effect is called adjust HSL. Parameter is hue, so it's parameter 0. This is kind of trash when it comes to construct. You gotta know what parameter you're touching based on this index. But besides that, 30. So if everything works, the player 2 is gonna be reddish. Yes! Palette swap, baby! Flashing around, baby. Either way. Apparently, purple got defeated. There we go. There we go. Boom. Boom. I'm going to do a background placeholder. I need something. I'm going to use Townsville. Yes. I'm sorry. I just need to. I'm just going to put a huge placeholder thing on top of it. Just new. Give me a new graphic, man. Come on. How do you fall through platforms in this game? They work like classic platforms, as in you jump through them from the bottom and you land on top of them. If you don't land on top of them, you can just go through them. And if you fall through the floor, you wrap around and appear on top. Because if the idea is like having pogo fights, you'll be in a very strong disadvantage very quickly if you just land on the bottom all the time. Not saying it's perfect, but I think it gets the job done. So this is going to be Townsville. I'm going to put a big ass placeholder name. Placeholder! And change a bit of the colors so it's more obvious. Like this. Obvious, but not that obvious. Placeholder. Background. Jesus. Okay, thanks. And I'm gonna properties. It's in options. No, it's not in options. So it's gonna be like, boop. I believe it's movie clip. What I'm trying to do is to exactly this. I want to do some like, there we go, like a little multiply. No, lighten, not bad. Screen, no. Overlay. No, I'm not gonna. I think I'm keeping the darken one. Placeholder background. Okay, thanks. Bye. How do you fall through? Okay, it seems really easy to get caught with both players at the same horizontal point, but one player above the other. Yeah, which will make it easy to run away camp. Yes, that's something that I want to test, and the idea is to just see how that turns out. Honestly, I don't know, and that is something that is there to be tested. This is gonna be the background. I'm not gonna export it. I'm just gonna take a screenshot because I'm that cheap. And it's important because it's a placeholder. It has to look bad enough. Decent, but bad enough. Here we are. What the heck? Descubre las novedades. Ignore. Why does Trello want to make things more complicated? You just have your task, you move them around, you're happy. Screw that. Meaning, done. Lighting on opponents, done. Character state machine, doing. Keyboard mapping, doing. Jump through platforms, done. Solid walls, done. No special moves, no JSON loader. That's a lot of stuff we did today. Maybe if you charge and tap down, you can fall through this platform. This is what you're doing for the game jam? Yes, this is what I'm doing for the game jam. I'm doing Trello for the game jam now. This is the game I'm doing for the game jam, yes. Maybe charge and tap down, you can fall through the platform. Again, up to testing. See how that goes. If people camp a lot, it's of course something that will need to be reviewed. I want to add one that moves vertical, and the distance has to be bigger. So do you, little rat. I'm planning on starting mine today. Yes, you go ahead. You do that. What are you planning on using? Any particular engine? Starting from scratch? What are you gonna do? Oh, this is cool. I like this. This is cool. Okay, so Unreal. Oh wow, really? Wow, that's what? How are you gonna do that? What are you gonna use? You're gonna use any like? There's an engine, right, for Unreal, like a framework for Unreal. It's the only one I know how to use. Yeah, it makes sense. Honestly, it makes sense. Go ahead. If you already know how to use it, that's the best thing you can do for a jam. Unless your objective of the jam is trying a new engine. Night Sky engine. Exactly. Cool. Just great. How's your team size? Oh, I was doing the background. Sorry, I got distracted. Beep. When I had the image. Oh no. My silly image. Let's do it again. Enlarge canvas. There we go. How big is this big boy? It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna use actual layers now. Yay, backdrop. And gameplay. I'm gonna have to fix that though. You're gonna be on, baby, on layer backdrop. And this layer has to be transparent and this layer has to be colored. There we go. I'm very impressed by some of the team sizes. I expected more folks going. So yeah, totally agree. That it's insane. Total of 3 people. What about yours? That's cool. We're 3 actually too. It's like I'm doing the coding and a lot of the stuff. Originally I was gonna go solo, but I saw Funky Space Aliens art and I jumped right into it. It's like, hey, wanna work with me because your art is so cool. And then there's a musician. I don't know exactly their name because they changed it from yesterday, and I don't know how they want to be referred to. Yesterday they had the handle called Ion Note, if I'm not mistaken, uh, but they are doing like music similar to Splatoon and Jet Set Radio and stuff like that. The idea is the visuals is more like Jet Set Radio ish. So yeah. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to mute. Sorry, there we go. Allergies, man. I'm very impressed. Yeah, I'm somehow acquired 7 member. What the heck? 7. So how is that distributed? Who's coding? How many people are coding? How many people are doing art? How many people are whatever? I finished writing down my design goals and I just wrote down a lot of tickets. Yes. Want to share notes? So this is like a very rough production list of tasks, and the teal is me, Funky Space Alien is art, and it's purple, and then you have I don't know. We'll probably change the name when they tell me how they want to be referred as. But yeah, and this is like I know I'm missing stuff here, but still. So game's ready. Yay! I mean, this works. I'm gonna put him at. I'm gonna clamp that. I'm sorry. The charge animation. I'm gonna clamp that. Player set state. What's the height? It's gonna be a local. Char mean height. 20. Okay. So height. There we go.
Oh, I'm having trouble with this math right now. It's silly, I know, but just give me a minute. I get it. I'm gonna try this. Charge minimum height. No, it's gonna be 0, so I don't need that. I don't need this here. I need this elsewhere. It's 1. It's fine. Minimum min. What is it? Charge minimum height. It's on D. Let's try it on D. See how that goes. No. It's percentage. Sorry. Oh, 25. Let's go. This is a bad idea. I'm not gonna solve it today. I'm kind of tired. I'm streaming and just coding live. I'm gonna leave it at that. Not gonna do it. Probably gonna export it and that's it. I'm gonna read some chat. So it's gonna be like 3 programmers, 3D artist, nice, and 1 musician, nice. For my group, I'm doing code engine. I have someone doing sound effects and BFX, and the last one is doing modeling animation, nice. Is yours gonna be a platform? Yes, it's more in line with platform fighters, and it's very much based on Super Mario War. I don't know if you played it. This was a good idea, and where the idea is like you're little Mario's and you're trying to land on each other. Wee! And just having shenanigans on the screen happen to let you either land on people or not land on people or have traps or whatever. I'm making a 3D fighter. I'm a programmer by heart, so to prepare, I've been learning modeling and animating. That's insane, man. Good one. Got a friend doing music and SFX. That's cool. I'm gonna export this, and you're gonna see it live, probably. So yeah, so dashboard. Yay. GoGo is here. No, silly you. Edit. GoGo Pogo Fighter. Let's go. So I'm gonna export. Do you plan on doing any of the optional stuff? Yeah, I do. Let me look at that while it's still exporting. Let me keep focus on this screen right now because sometimes it messes up if I lose the focus. But yeah, cool. We have a build. Uh, so let me get to jams. I can do this later. So it's jams. Jams joined. And optional. Remappable controls. I want to do that. Remappable. Online burst is not going to happen. Training mode's not going to happen. CPU opponents. I really want to do that one, actually. Game is pretty simple. So at first I'm going to have like super basic CPU. And it is like mash buttons and see what happens and then build on top of that. It's how it has worked for me in the past when it comes to, you know, enemy UI. Rollback, rollback is not gonna happen, man. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. No, ain't nobody got time for that. For doing from scratch. Uh, yeah, we need more 3D fighters. I agree. We need more fighters in general in the space. Yeah. Have you ever done netcode before? Because I've never even tried it. We tried. We failed miserably. Like we tried to do it in Construct. Construct didn't have the tools to do proper syncing for a rollback. You can have online, but it was going to be delay based netcode, and we didn't want that. And we tried building our game maker fighter considering rollback, but we didn't have the time to do so eventually. But yeah, I've done like very rudimentary netcode. I've worked on a like card game, turn-based card game, It's not even turn based now I think about it, but it's a card game online for one of Cartoon Network's IPs back then. Game wasn't really that good, but the tech behind it was like basically your card moves behave like spicy chat. Not because the chat was spicy, but it's in a move sends basically a string to the server. The server then sends it to everybody's client. The client reinterprets it as an actual card move, and things happen. You're just chatting for all intents and purposes, and the game interprets that chat as a card move, and that's it. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but it worked. Uh, but the game and the IP wasn't that good. It was for Summer Camp Island from Cartoon Network, and it was weird. We've done more interesting games for other IPs, honestly. But yeah, what else? Having more character? Yeah, that's it. Optionals, CPU, and probably removable controls. I'm looking forward to at least keyboard. I want to. Can't promise anything right now, but who's gonna do it? So hey, Funky, I don't know if you've been watching all along, but here's how things are going. I'm sorry. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I took the liberty of changing the hue of the character. Oh, I need to work on that one because it looks like super weird that I didn't land on top. Boom, there we go. Hey, and then really, they respawn. They're gonna be in this loop forever now. When I think about it, I gotta do something with this. I'm gonna put this here just in case it stops people from just forever spawning. Uh, I'm impressed at how fast you program the game. Thank you. It's a weapon of choice. My weapon of choice is construct. I can pull it off like rather quickly, and it has a lot of like quick things to get things done. I'm gonna send this build on itch. I can send it to you privately, of course, and we can look it over. You can actually try to run it yourself on Construct. Construct is a web thing, so I can give you access to the whole thing if you need to. But for all intents and purposes, like the most basic movement and collisions are practically done. Bugs are gonna come out. Weird shenanigans are gonna happen, but the basics are there, and there's fun to be had with it probably, and that's why I'm also sending it already to itch to see if people on the server, on the Discord server, want to try it and see any flaws. And maybe it's just not that deep right now, and people are gonna go like, "Is that it?" And that's a very valid reaction too. So yeah. Again, I'm saving, and I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to the dashboard and edit this baby. So I'm gonna upload the file. This is not it. Downloads Fighting Jam. There we go. I have nothing. It's not an executable. It's executable, but sure. Change display name. Let's leave it at that. Set different price. Now this file will play it in the browser. Yes. Is this okay? I don't know. View page. Save. View page. I really appreciate you streaming this process. It's super. Thank you. Thank you. It's actually very helpful to me too, because it helps me like rubber duck my ideas with you folks, and yeah, helps me also put things in order. Because saying out loud some code attempts, you realize they're not good attempts, so it's good to do that. And hearing from other people's experiences from the chat also helps a lot. It's very small now that I think about it. I can do it full screen. Yay! This is itch though. This is itch already. Have you noticed how fast that was? Yes, Construct is your friend if you want to make a web game. Have you done game jams before? This will be my first. It's actually, this is I think it's my first jam as an actual participant. Been, uh, I've been organizing jams for a while. I did like for 6, 8 years before the pandemic. And
mostly global game jams, and then we invented one called Winter Jam that we did like 6 months after that. Winter Jam because southern hemisphere here in Uruguay it's winter, the opposite like on August ish. But yeah, and were you a judge? No, no. Global Game Jam and the Winter Jam, the spirit of it was it just like gather around, have fun, make games. So it wasn't exactly like a competition, but we organized the venues and run the theme and help the teams organize themselves and all that stuff. So it's more of a meta thing and not necessarily an actual game jam judging stuff. It's like physical jams. This is what I'm talking about, right? Before the pandemic. So it's like, hey, everybody get in here for a whole ass weekend and let's make a game, right? So I would stream if it wasn't at work. Yeah, I would agree that. I totally agree with that. I have more time in my hands right now, so I'm actually doing this twofold because I have the time and I really wanted to stream again, and it helps me like get back to doing some cool projects that I haven't done in a while, and I really wanted to try some stuff on the fighting genre again. I would like to try some more complex stuff, but it wouldn't fit a scope of a game jam in that sense. But yeah, this is it. It's working, and I'm gonna change a couple of things on the. I'm gonna edit the theme. Theme sucks. Funky, if you're listening, throw me some colors. So throw me some colors for some palettes. But other than that, for now, I'm just gonna edit this. Streaming dev work looks fun. I want to try it. It is. It's hard to just keep focus on what you're doing and trying to talk with chat. Still working on the conceptual. Are planning on sharing it with you by the end of the day. Thank you, man. That's Funky's insane. His art is insane. I'm really happy to be working with him. It's like I've been lucky enough throughout my career to have talented people work with me that I feel like I need to step up my game or make something that enshrines the work of others because otherwise it'll be like, oh no, I'm lagging behind these talented folks. But yeah, Funky is it's that good. Uh, More of a night owl like that. Yeah, it's fine. I get that. But yeah, what is it? Short description at a time. Jump. I'm gonna keep that with the typo. For now, it's gonna be like that. The description is gonna be jump. Uh, do I? No payments, man. Not now. I'm gonna make this bigger. 960, 540. Let's go with that. Testing. Give me a minute. We got some visitors. That's why you're probably listening to some background noise. Background voices, actually. But yeah. Testing. First build of Bogo Power. I'm missing the start character. This is important. So AMD player 1 is AMD charge jumps. Player 2. Okay. Arrows. Charge jumps. Land on your opponent's heads. Head. That's it. We're gonna keep it lean for now, and that's it. Save. First entry to require payment to experience it. Yes! Let's do that. Hey, we can make a quick buck out of this. You never know. We could make it like that. Cover image, there's none yet. I could use your characters here, but I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm gonna keep it lean again. Yes. View page. I'm keeping the construct loader for now to show how placeholdery everything is. I'm gonna change the description. I'm gonna change the description, which is entry for the fighting game April
jam. It's kind of a mouthful, full the whole thing, but yeah. Uh, read more. Gonna link here, so it's gonna be itch. There we go. Link. Insert link. URL. Insert. Oh, it gave me an option, which is yeah. I'll put a link in it. No, do I? Yeah, save. If your game is liked enough, would you work on it more and sell it? Would love to. If it makes sense, sure, I guess. Uh, I don't know if you're up to it, Funky, but we just day two, like actually like day 1.5 on production. So it's like I don't know. If it's cool, it's cool. We'll see about that. It's one step at a time, my dude. One step at a time. We're gonna do the coolest game we can make in a month with the team that we have for the fighting game jam. Where it happens next can be discussed afterwards. For now, looking forward to the jam. Let's see how far we get with the game jam. Yeah, better to keep expectations low. Not necessarily low, but within sensible scopes, if you will. But yeah. Testing first, build of Go power. You can check out live dev streams at Twitch TV/Rod. This is like a bit of self-insertion that never. Open a new tab. There we go. I think that's it. View page. Okay. Edit game. We'll be working on it throughout the month. What percentage of people complete their game jam versus drop out? Depends on the jam, if you're asking me. Depends on the jam, the theme, whatever. When it comes to, at least on my experience, when it comes to global game jam, at least physically present global game jams, all teams deliver something. We run venues of roughly 60 people at best, at tops, actually. Otherwise, it becomes unwieldy. And they all manage to deliver something. The something is a key word here because some teams are like super ambitious and don't reach any particular goals, but they try new things and sure, whatever. Some teams are more sensible with the scope or have more experience and deliver things that are jam finished products and work. But at least the ones I managed with other folks and other colleagues, we focused on having the teams be able to deliver something. In this ones, that remote ones, I have no idea, and I believe it depends a lot on what the theming is or what the jam is about. In this case, fighting games. Yeah, but everybody's like saying like it would be cool to have at least 10 games. I think we're gonna see something along those lines, 10 to 15 or whatever. I'll argue the turnout will be lower since fighting games aren't easy. Yeah, probably. A lot of folks are starting with an engine or a framework within an engine, like Castagn in Godot, like you folks are doing with Unreal. And I am very aware that I'm one of the few developers that are working on their own thing, still with an engine though. Construct is an engine, but that's why it's also like small scope when it comes to complexity. It's a simple game on purpose. I would like to make a simple game that's rather fun, casual, but polished and cool. That's kind of like the approach. But yeah,
this AI generation disclosure. No, not at all. I think someone said there was 300, and so I'm wondering how many we think will release. 300 entrants that does not mean 300 teams. That's the thing. And I think we can have a. I would like to think we reach 15 games. So I don't know, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, that's it. I think we're good to go. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'm gonna publish this and just go with this because the title is "Work in Progress for Game Jam," so it's kind of like self-explanatory. What I have my doubts is I can start. Can I submit the project already? How many people play this game? 3. Engine use. Construct 3. Do you have any social media connected with your team? Not with a team, but myself? Oh, can I? I don't know. I'm gonna ask. I'm not gonna, you know, just throw that shot just in case. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So thanks for joining. I think I'm gonna leave it at this today. I'm gonna share the link. I'm gonna share the link here on chat if I can, so you folks can test it. And then I'm gonna share on the Discord server. It's like this. So just in case you were wondering what the fuck TAFTO is, TAFTO, it's like literally it's just trying a few things out. That's why I call it. It's like I'm trying things out with this profile and stuff, so it's called TAFTO. Sounds cool, and I'm keeping that. But yeah, so copy, and I'm gonna do it on chat, Twitch TV. Mm-hmm. Where's chat? Where's chat, gang? There we go. Thanks for the stream. Have a good one. Thank you, Mike. Have a good one yourself. I think someone said there were, yeah. Mike. First build of the game. Try it out with a friend. There you go. So yeah, that's about it. I'm kind of tired already, so I'm gonna call it just. I'm gonna call it off, and I'll see you around. Probably, I don't know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I probably will, for a couple of hours, just like I did today. But it's been good. Thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting. Uh, hope it works. Hope it helps any of you folks. And let's see some jumping little dudes going around. Right. Bye. Stay awesome.